Welcome back to Creation, where we're trying to match God with his perfect world. Now, God, I've brought you here to the great expanse of nothingness. And I think it ticks all your boxes, but what do you make of it?
Yes, it certainly is a good space, lovely size, a bit formless and empty though. I reckon it could benefit from a bit of natural light, so let there be light!
Oh. Oh, that's good.
You're right, it is good.
Horrible Histories.
Welcome to Horrible Histories, Barbaric Bible. Sometimes people can think that just because the Bible's quite long, that it must be boring. But in actual fact, it's filled with all sorts of crazy stuff.
Are you looking for a new book to read?
Yeah.
Is Biff and Chip not doing it for you anymore?
No.
Then try the Bible.
Boring.
You mean you don't like books with talking donkeys, people getting impaled on poles, a man killing a lion with his bare hands, eating food cooked over cow poo, dreams that can tell the future, someone who lived to 969 years old, a man being swallowed by a big fish?
Okay, I get it. That does sound quite interesting. Where could I find a book like that?
It's the Bible, you fool.
Ouch.
Name that animal!
Can you name that animal? Adam, God's given you the task of naming all the animals. So far, you've named 17. Very good. There's only 1.2 million more to name.
I'm running out of names. It's going to take forever.
Well, it's your job. Don't think too hard about it. I'll show you a picture. You say the first name that comes into your head, okay?
Fine. Dog.
Isn't that just God, but the letters the other way around?
Spiny lumpsucker. Yep, that's the spiny lumpsucker. Yeah, that looks like a pink fairy armadillo. Pink fairy armadillo. Goblin shark.
Hey, happy birthday!
Oh, thanks. Come on in, food goes on the table at the back.
I've done my signature goat curry.
Oh, yum, my favourite.
It's super flavoursome today. Tried a new way of cooking it. Boiled the goat in its mother's milk.
Right this way, sir.
How was I meant to know that boiling a baby goat in its mother's milk was prohibited?
It's the law.
The law. The first 5 books of the Bible are also known as the Torah, which is commonly translated to the law. These books are called Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And the books include a lot of the crazy laws given to Moses. One's a bit like this.
Order! Order!
Plead your case.
It was an innocent mistake, honest. I'd eaten a lot of figs. Like, a lot. And you know what happens to you when you eat a lot of figs, right?
For the benefit of the scribe, we'll need you to be specific.
When you eat lots of figs, you need to do poo-poo. And usually fast. It's got laxative effects.
Don't tell me you didn't make it to the designated poo-poo area outside the camp.
Oh, no. I made it to the designated area. But I didn't have a spade.
Well, then I'm sentencing you to 3 months community service. As it says in the law, in Deuteronomy 23, verse 13, each of you must have a spade as part of your equipment. Whenever you relieve yourself, or poo-poo, dig a hole with the spade and cover the excrement, or poo-poo. You have broken the law!
Very well.
Now, the first 5 books of the Bible don't just contain lists of laws. They also include information about the creation of the world and the people that God created. Some of the people you might recognize from these books include Adam, Eve, Abraham, Joseph, Moses, and Noah.
I was there on Noah's Ark. I'm sure you've heard the story, but when I tell you more, you'll see it's really gory. Everyone in the world had turned real bad, and that made God feel sad. He wiped the human race from the face of the land, except for Noah, a righteous man. His family and some creatures escaped on a boat, but the rest of the world, they didn't float. We were on the up for over 300 days. It was quite a squeeze. There wasn't much space. Look, I'm not complaining. I'm just glad to be alive. There's more than I can say for my cousin Clive. The rain stopped, out we came pair by pair. But what happened next was really not fair. I went to his house, but no, oh no, my best mate's dead. Poor Pedro.
just up the ramp and then second door on your left. Next.
Oh, hi, Noah. Yeah, thanks for doing this. Just one monkey, please.
Ooh. Monkey, yeah. We've already had 2 monkeys, I'm afraid, so...
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, we're full. Reached our monkey quota.
But I was told to get here at 8. The queue was really long. I got here at 8, I swear, but it's taken a long time to get to the front.
Yeah. But I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. Someone beat you to it. You'll have to leave the queue, I'm afraid.
So what do I do? I'm meant to just go off and drown now, am I?
I know it's not ideal. Next.
Hello?
What are you meant to be?
Zebra?
No chance. More like no a chance. Next.
Cool. 14 pigeons, please.
Great, 14. Yeah, on you come.
What is this? How come you let on 14 pigeons and then another monkey and you're like, no way?
Don't believe it. It's God's orders.
I thought it was meant to be 2 by 2.
Yeah, 2 by 2 for animals, but not for birds.
Birds can fly.
7 pairs of each bird.
They don't even need a
In my
boat.
book.
That makes no sense.
Here are some of the silly ways that people died in the Bible, but set to a lovely song to make it more pleasant.
She was told the thing to avoid when Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed. She turned around, it's really her fault that Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Don't make fun of a bald man, as these 42 boys know it can get out of hand. When they joked that he had no hair, they all got mauled by a bear. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Go to stay with your enemy, not feeling fear, cause she's a lady. Have some milk before going to bed, then she hammers a tent peg right into your head. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die.
Some years after the flood, we're introduced to one of Noah's descendants, a guy called Abram and his wife Sarai, although you probably know them as Abraham and Sarah.
Sarah, my love, you are the most beautiful woman I've ever set eyes upon.
Stop it, Abraham, stop it.
No.
Seriously, you're far too beautiful. And when we're in Egypt, they'll probably realise I'm your husband and try and kill me so they can have you. We can't have that.
Well, let's not go to Egypt then.
I've got a better idea.
Hello.
I'm Sarah, Abraham's brother. Sister. He's my brother. We're siblings, definitely.
Oh, well, fantastic. Then I shall take you as my wife.
Oh.
He's married her. They're not really brother and sister. Why didn't you tell me she was your wife, you weirdo? I'd have never married her.
This was a terrible idea. Let's never do it again.
You're right.
Later.
Welcome to Gerar. And who might you be?
I am Abraham.
And what's your beautiful wife's name?
Beautiful? Gross. No, that's my, sister.
Oh.
What seems to be the problem?
Oh, I've got a lump growing in my belly and I'm quite concerned. It's about the size of a football.
Okay, could be an inflamed boil. I'll need to run some tests.
Good news, Sarah. There's nothing wrong with you. You're pregnant. Oh, you must be mad. I'm 90 years old.
Oh, that is old. I can check again.
No, definitely a baby. Can't you feel it kicking? Oh, God has brought me laughter. All who hear about this will laugh with me.
It's true. They really had a son when Sarah was 90 years old and Abraham was 100. They weren't able to get pregnant, but God changed all of that, and they gave birth to baby Isaac.
Order!
The law. The Old Testament is made up of 39 different books that can be broken down into 5 categories. The first 5 books of the Bible are known as the books of law, and some of those laws are well known, like the 10 Commandments.
But there are some other ones that are a bit weirder, and they sound a little strange to us now. Of what crime have you been accused?
Well, yes, I suppose, murder.
Oh dear. Well, better explain yourself.
Well, so I was minding my own business, just doing stuff, and when some bloke started climbing through my window, and he grabbed some of my money and he started to leg it, so, I clobbered him on the head with a vase, and he fell down and died instantly.
Well, then, not guilty. It was self-defense.
Objection, Your Honour. Bartholomew has left out one vital detail. This all happened in the middle of the day.
Then guilty. Take him away.
Oh, man.
It's true. It was okay to accidentally kill a thief as an act of self-defense, but only if it happened in the middle of the night. If it happened in the daytime, you'd be guilty of murder. So there were laws about things that you'd expect, like killing people, but also laws about things like food.
Hello and welcome to Food, Ancient Israel edition. On today's show, we'll be creating tasty dishes using only the ingredients brought in by our guest. Please welcome Adonijah.
Hello.
Tell us, what ingredients have you brought in?
Well, I've got bacon.
Sorry, sir, eating pig is forbidden. You'll have to come with me.
Oh no, wait. Can we cook something else? What about crab?
No, I'm afraid that's a sea creature without fins or scales. Prohibited.
It's okay. I'll get something else. How about a nice bit of poultry?
Oh, chicken, my favourite.
No, owl.
Absolutely not.
Seagull?
Right, that's it. You're under arrest.
Wait. What about locusts?
Disgusting. No, yeah, you're actually all good there. Locusts are fine. Enjoy your meal. Ta-ra.
There are 613 commands written in the law. They're in there to teach God's people how to live and to set his people apart from all the other nations. But how are we meant to remember all those laws? So you just need section 43 covered. Okay, honey? Next. How can I help you?
Yes, hi. I'm here to take my police officer entrance exam.
Okay, not a problem. You just have to answer 613 questions before we can give you a uniform. So, number 1, how many gods should we have?
That's an easy one. Just one, the Lord.
Good. Number 2, true or false, making idols is a good thing.
That's false. You should not make idols.
Correct.
Much later.
Question number 412. If you happen to find a bird's nest in a tree or on the ground and there are young ones or eggs in the nest with their mother, what should you do?
You may take the young, but let the mother go so that you may prosper and enjoy a long life.
Yes, that's right. Now, question 413. How many tassels should be on the hem of your cloak?
Tassels? Oh, I don't know, 6?
Ooh, I'm afraid not. It's actually 4. Thank you for your cooperation, but I'm afraid you've not passed the entrance exam.
Oh man, not again. Oh well, no worries. Same time again next week.
Yeah, see you then, Simon.
Bye.
Fast forward to the New Testament, and Jesus summed up all the laws into just 2. To love God and to love other people. Now that's a bit easier to remember. And then you just have to think things through that filter.
So is murder okay? Well, I don't suppose you're loving a person that well if you murder them, are you?
Yeah, no, good point.
Moses! I wondered if I could ask you a few questions.
I'm a bit busy at the moment. Just about to head up the mountain, try and get forgiveness for all the people's dreadful sin.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. Sin.
Oh, yes, they've been worshipping a golden calf. It's awful.
No, I wanted to talk about you.
Oh, well, what do you want to know? About the time I was rescued by God as a baby? It's a great story. I was put in a basket in the river.
Not exactly. I've heard something quite concerning about you. Do you have any comments?
Oh, the burning bush. You must want to know about the burning bush. It didn't actually burn me. God was speaking to me from the bush, asking me to set his people free from slavery.
Yes, but I heard that when you saw a slave being mistreated...
God used me to carry out a bunch of plagues to convince Pharaoh to let us go. That's right. No further questions.
No, but what I'm curious about is...
about the escape through the Red Sea when I raised my staff and God parted the waters.
I heard you killed a man.
Huh? Oh, you must mean in our battle with the Amalekites. We defeated them when I held up my staff. God saved his people. I needed some help on either side, but so yes, I suppose I am loosely responsible for a couple of their deaths. Anyway, got to go.
You committed murder. You killed an Egyptian back when you saw him attacking one of your people.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You hid the body in the sand and ran away when someone mentioned it.
Oh, look, I'm trying to maintain my image here. Just keep it on the down low, okay? I've done loads of good things too. Why don't you report on that?
Most of us know about all the great things Moses did. He was rescued as a baby. He saw the burning bush. There were the 10 plagues, the parting of the Red Sea, food coming down from heaven. But he also killed a man. Even though we all do terrible things like Moses, although hopefully not as bad as killing someone, God chooses to forgive us, and he uses us to do great things for him, even if we have killed someone.
Is it me?
Is it you? Is it him?
Guess who? Bible edition.
Is your person over 100 years old? No, he's not. Surprisingly, not many of them. Has your person ever caught 300 foxes, tied them together in pairs, set fire to their tails, and sent them into the enemy fields to destroy all the grain? Yes. Is it Samson? Yes. I hate this game! God's people went on a journey to the Promised Land. Moses started them off with the escape out of Egypt, and Joshua finished the journey when the walls of Jericho came crashing down. Joshua, you're an old man now.
Yeah, cheers for that.
No, I didn't mean that. I just meant, well, I'd love to gather some wisdom from you before you, well, you know, die.
You could have phrased all of that so differently. But you're right. I'm 110 years old. I don't have long left. Listen to my words and note them down. Never forget what I'm about to tell you.
Oh, yes, sir. Let me just find my pen real quick.
Follow the law. The books of Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Then people will know God because of the way you live.
Wait, just hold that thought. Can you repeat that just in a second?
Do not associate with the other people still remaining in the land.
Yeah, well, 1 second, Josh.
Don't mention the names of other people's gods. Never swear by them, and definitely don't worship them.
I swear I've got a pen here somewhere.
If you follow the people in the land and get involved with them, it will end very badly.
Got it. Right. What was the first one? Something to do with the law?
And finally, the Lord has given us great things, but he will take them away if you disobey him.
Stupid pen doesn't work. Oh, I'll go grab another and then you can just tell me again, okay? Oh, drat. The people didn't follow Joshua's advice. Rather than setting the culture around them, they just copied what the other people in the land were already doing. We are the Israelites! We are God's people! You should worship our God, he's amazing! Yes, or you could worship our God. Well, go on. What does your God do? Our God's pretty great. He's rescued our ancestors out of Egypt, parted the Red Sea, he's always been faithful, he loves us so much. So tell us about your God. Yeah, pretty similar really, just except our God is more into sort of like terrible, evil, awful stuff. Oh, right. Like what? Oh, you know, just all the worst stuff like murder and other vile practices. Oh. So, what do you think? Worship our gods? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, sounds good. The Israelites got it wrong again and again and again. They turned away from God, and each time they did, God, well, let them have their wishes, and he stopped protecting them. And they were attacked by various other people in the land. When things got really bad again, the people would cry out to God, and God would raise up a rescuer to save them. These guys were known as the judges.
Stupid deaths, they're funny 'cause they're true. Stupid deaths, hope next time it's not you. Next! And your name is?
Eglon.
Well, that name didn't catch on, did it? Well, what happened to you then?
Well, a judge called Ehud came to bring me the tribute money from the Israelites.
Well, don't tell me you forgot to check him for a knife.
Well, no. We did check, but it turns out he was left-handed, hiding the knife where we wouldn't find it.
Let me see the weapon then. I'd love to figure out how he hid it.
Well, you can't, I'm afraid.
Well, why not?
I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm quite fat.
Oh, no. Definitely hadn't noticed.
Well, when he stabbed me, the dagger disappeared into all my fat. Couldn't find it.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's a really weird smell coming from somewhere. Can you smell that?
Oops. Guilty as charged, that would be me. Something happened when the knife went inside me. It meant I did a poo-poo.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, meant none of the guards came in to check on me because they thought I was doing a toilet. But the joke's on Ehud, really. You know, the guy who killed me. He had to escape through the toilet system. Out through the sewers, it would have absolutely stank.
I mean, I think the joke's on you. You're the one who's dead.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I suppose you're right.
This particular stupid death is in the book of Judges, one of the 12 books after the books of the law. These books, from Joshua through to Esther, are known as the books of history, and they tell us what happened to God's people over a long period of time, including the move from God's people being looked after by judges to being looked after by kings. Saul is the first king of Israel, raised to position by Samuel. He's an incredible military leader, and he's been creating a space for himself while he's out in the wilderness. This is Grand Designs. And so this is where the wild goats live. I thought rocks would be a lovely space for them, don't you think? I mean, you've done a brilliant job, I must say, and being here 18 months ago and seeing it now, what a difference. It's amazing. What I would like to see, and I'm sure the viewers at home would like to see as well, the thing that's impressed me the most is what you've done with your bathroom, the toilet space. Would you show us what you've done? Give us a little tour. Well, yes, I am quite proud of this one. So when you're out on the road, you know, trying to kill David because you're worried that he's trying to become king in your place and steal your crown, you need somewhere rather spacious to relieve yourself. Well, quite, and I would be thinking a big rock. Yeah, well, I was thinking something a bit bigger than that. I went for a cave. Wow. I mean, this is just luxury. And you can just go wherever you want within the massive cave. That's right. Now, I don't tend to go too far in because I like the natural light. But you could poop right at the back of the cave if you really wanted to. Gosh. Who's that? Who's what? Oh, listen! David! There's no need to fear me. I'm not out to kill you. Look, I've got a bit of your robe. I got it off while you were pooping. I could have killed you if I wanted, but I didn't. Oh, my favourite robe. Now, Saul, let's talk numbers. I know you did go over budget on this build, but maybe you should have saved some money for some cameras for a security system. I'd really rather he doesn't get in here again. Can I borrow 500 quid? Even giving Israel a king to follow wasn't enough to guarantee that they'd keep following God. Even the legendary David, the giant slayer, made some pretty big errors. When the power gets to your head, you can do some pretty stupid things. I am Solomon, son of David, third king of Israel, here to, confess my wrongdoing. Oh, it says here that you threatened to chop a baby in half. Oh, yes. But that was a good thing. Huh? Very wise, indeed. There were two women who were arguing over a baby. One of them was lying, saying it was hers, while the other was telling the truth. So I told them we'd just chop the baby in half and they could share it. That's awful! It was a trick, and it worked. The woman who was up for my ruling wasn't the mum, obviously. The other one said that the first woman could have the baby because she didn't want the baby to die, so it was clear that she was the mum. I guess I kind of get it. It does say here that you asked God for wisdom instead of riches, and he gave it to you, and he gave you riches. It also says that you built a temple for the Lord, so what exactly have you done wrong? Well, I did have 700 wives. I suppose they turned my heart away from God. I worshipped other false and detestable gods, so the real God wasn't happy. 700 wives? I'm sorry, that's enough for one new wife every single day for 2 years. Did you even know all their names? Yes, the name thing was tricky. But what I would do is I'd say, oh, my love, or my beautiful wife, or something like that. They had no idea I didn't know their names. Ha! We knew. After King Solomon's reign, Israel split into two separate kingdoms, and they were each ruled by different kings. Now, most of these kings did evil in the eyes of God, and both kingdoms were eventually destroyed and the people were taken into captivity. The Israelites, now known as the Jews, were suddenly a minority in the places they were living. Some chose to blend in and worship the gods of the places they were in, while others did the right thing and kept following God. And so to achieve success, you must stop making excuses, push through pain and obstacles, and relentlessly pursue your goals with determination, taking ownership of your life and continuously striving for more, regardless of the challenges you face. Oh, bravo! Brilliant! Very good, Charlie. This class has paid off all your hard work. You're ready to become a professional motivational speaker. You've got what it takes. Now, Quachaleth, I think that's how you say your name. Your turn. You got a speech for us called Ecclesiastes. I'm looking forward to this one. Everything is meaningless. Completely meaningless. Sorry, is that it? I didn't realise you were done. I like the way you've started sort of with a low point, and now maybe what you want to do is sort of build it up to really make it motivational. Hence the motivational speech. So.
Yeah, no. Everything is wearisome beyond description. No matter how much we see, we are never satisfied. No matter how much we hear, we are not content.
Ecclesiastes isn't the cheeriest book in the Bible, but it teaches us the wisdom of allowing God to be in control. It says that, although lots of the things that we work for actually have no lasting meaning, we can find true joy and purpose by trusting in God. After the books of history, the next few books in the Old Testament are the wisdom and poetic books. So you've got Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Songs. And these books are all about giving us some wisdom and tips to live our lives by. Everyone is looking for that special someone. But will these next two hit it off? Welcome to Historical First Dates, the Song of Songs special.
I am quite nervous, yes, but I've been given some top advice. Compliment her as much as possible. Apparently women love compliments.
Hello.
Wow. Can I just say, you are absolutely beautiful.
You're too kind. Stop it, you.
No, I'm serious. Your hair, it's out of this world. It's like a flock of goats descending from the hills of Gilead. And your teeth, they are like a flock of sheep.
Sorry, what's with all the sheep and goat stuff?
Yeah, no, you're right. It's a bit much, but your nose. Oh, it's like the Tower of Lebanon looking towards Damascus.
Are you saying I have a big nose?
And your waist is a mound of wheat.
Hello again.
So, would you like to see each other again?
Yes.
Believe it or not, all those compliments are written in the book of Song of Songs. They might not translate that well to us now, but they were great back in the day.
Hello.
Welcome to Heaven's Got Talent. Your name is?
David, or King David.
And what are you going to be singing for us today, David?
Oh, it's an original, one I've written. I call it Psalm 13.
Well, whenever you're ready.
Oh Lord, how long will you forget me? Forever, how long will you look the other way? Oh, how long must I struggle with anguish in my soul, with sorrow in my heart every day? How long will my enemy have the upper hand? Turn and answer me, O Lord my God. Restore the sparkle to my eyes, or I will die.
Well, stop. I'm going to stop you there. I don't like this one. Feels very critical of me.
Yeah, no. Hear it out though. It does get better from here on. You didn't let me finish. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I trust in your unfailing love. I will rejoice because you have rescued me. I will sing to the Lord because He is good to me.
I like it.
Welcome to Spas Are Us. How can we help you?
Yes, I've got a booking for a treatment session.
Brilliant. What was your name?
I'm Job.
Oh, yeah, we've got you here, Job. So, you wanted a boil treatment. Fair enough. So we've got this revolutionary new boil treatment. If you just lie down there, and we'll scrape the boils off with a piece of broken pottery.
No, please! I've done that to myself. It helps for a little bit, and then it's just awful, excruciating pain.
Gosh, you seem quite stressed, Job. Why don't we start you off with a nice, relaxing massage?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Oh, really quite tense, aren't you?
I've been having a hard time.
Excuse me interrupting, just quick message. Oh dear. Right, now try and stay relaxed, Job, but I've just been given some news. So while you've been here, someone's stolen all of your oxes and donkeys and killed all the farmers.
No! Why?
Yes. And another thing, your camels and servants are all gone too.
Please, no!
Just one more thing. So try and keep relaxed. But all your children were eating together when a big wind swept in and knocked their house down, and they're all dead now.
Oh, this is the worst massage I've ever had!
Yes, although probably to do with the circumstances, not me. So if you did fancy giving me a 5-star Google review, then my name is Clive. You know what? Never mind. I don't need the review. Hi, I'm Daniel, and I'm here to tell you about my brand new diet that's guaranteed to make you healthier and better nourished than all the other men.
Oh boy, that sounds good. What have I got to do?
It's simple. You can eat and drink as much as you want. From a selection of vegetables and water.
What?
Now, you didn't think you'd be able to eat meat or any of the tasty stuff, did you? Not on the Daniel diet.
Oh, come on!
It's a strictly vegan diet with the added benefit that you won't defile yourself by eating this food.
Fine! Fetch me a carrot!
Brand new Daniel diet. Get every vitamin and mineral that you need with no fear of becoming pale or thin compared to the other youths of your age. As tested over a 10-day period. The last few books of the Old Testament are the books of the prophets. There are the major prophets and the minor prophets. The major prophets are the books of Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, and Daniel. They're not called major prophets because they're more important than the other prophets. It's purely because they're longer. Lamentations is only 5 chapters long, but it's in there because it was written by Jeremiah. Thanks for coming, everyone. Oh, isn't it great to have so many prophets in the same room? Now, we've all been given messages and visions from God to encourage his people to stop rebelling and to turn back to him. But it's been brought to my attention that some of our methods have been, how do I put this? Putting people off a little bit. So I wanted to call us together to unite, with a new advertising campaign that I've put together to get our message across strongly and clearly. Let's roll the ad.
Hi, I'm a shouty man, and I'm here to tell you about New Idol. Is your current idol doing nothing for you? Of course it is. It's a rock. Try New Idol.
It looks very similar to Old Idol.
And get it to do tasks like protect you from harm.
Okay.
Keep me safe. Or why not try New Idol at answering prayers?
Well, here goes nothing.
Heal my broken arm. Oh, it didn't work. New Idol can even stand up. It's on its side again. Mine keeps falling over when it's near to this altar of the real, true, living God. I'm not sure this New Idol works at all. You're right, because it's just a brick. If you really want results, try following God.
Pretty brilliant, huh? So, what do you think? What do you think?
Excuse me? I'm not sure it's dramatic enough. Yeah, we could hide our pants in a hole in the rocks. Yeah, or say, what if I were to marry a prostitute? I was thinking, I could lie on my side for 390 days without moving.
The prophets did do some unusual things. These sign acts helped to communicate their message to God's people in very dramatic ways. It would have probably been very hard to ignore someone who is lying on their side for 390 days. But that wasn't just for show. It was to remind God's people that for 390 years, the people had turned away from God, and it was a call for them to turn back to him. This is the Great Bible Bake Off. For his signature bake, Ezekiel served up a scroll.
Sweet as honey, isn't it?
I'd describe it differently. Taste of paper. It's bread week. Can his showstopper keep him in the competition? It's very soft, but, and I don't mean to be rude, but your bread sort of tastes like poo.
Oh, yes. That will be because I cooked it over burning cow poo. Gross. Well, it could be worse. God originally told me to cook my food over human poo. But when I complained, he changed it to cow pats.
Why?
Well, isn't it obvious? To show that God's people would eat defiled bread in the lands they'd be banished to due to their rebellion, of course.
Oh, of course. The major prophets gave warnings to God's people. They pointed out all the things that the people were getting wrong and called them to repent. We don't often use the word repent with our friends. It's a big word that means being sorry for something that you've done wrong and turning from the wrong things that you've been doing to do the right thing instead.
Step right up! Get your brand new pottery! 1 for £5, 3 for £12. I got a deal for you. Come on over.
Ooh, nice. I do love a good bit of pottery. What have you got?
Well, there's this one, which could be perfect for storing flour in, or there's this one, which represents the fact that you have burnt people alive in fire as offerings to Baal, an atrocity that God never ordered.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm just trying to buy a new jar here. There's no need to make it quite so horrendously personal. What's going on over here? All of these pots are smashed to pieces.
Yes, that's right. And they can never be put back together again, can they? Mark my words. God will smash this city to pieces like these pots because of the things you have done.
I'm going to try IKEA. The prophets would give warnings to the people about what would happen if they didn't repent. Unfortunately, the people didn't listen to the prophets. They only believed what they had said when it was too late, and the things that the prophets were speaking about were already happening. The prophets weren't all doom and gloom, though. They also told stories of hope, including God's plans for a Messiah, someone who would save the world from the terrible things that were to come. Obadiah has come to the dragons, the major prophets, to pitch his self-titled book for inclusion in the Old Testament. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. I'm asking for 0.1% of the Old Testament to be my book. It's a book about the judgment of Edom and how God will punish them for the wrong that they've done, but with the hope for the future that God will build a new kingdom, which will include everyone, including the people of Edom.
And how many chapters is it? My book, Isaiah, is 66 chapters long.
1. You think you can get your whole message across in 1 chapter? Look, it may just be 22 verses long, which would make it the shortest book in the Old Testament, but it's about quality, not quantity.
Are you saying my book isn't quality?
No, I'm not saying that, but you know, your book can get a little bit boring. It's kind of confusing and takes a real long time to read. Think of my book as one for the beginners, you know, a quick read to get them into prophecy, and then maybe they'll be inspired to read your ones.
Well, I'm out.
You know what? You're right. It's not about the length of the book, it's about what's in there. Isaiah's always banging on about how his book is 66 chapters. Well, mine is 48, and it's just as good. Obadiah, I'm in. We're putting your book in the Bible.
Yes!
The decision of which books made it into the Old Testament probably didn't look like that. But it is true that Obadiah is the shortest book in there. His book is one of the 12 minor prophets, which are called that because of their length. The other minor prophets are Hosea, Joel, Amos, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi. And you probably haven't heard of many of these except for maybe Jonah. But the minor prophets contain more messages from God to his people.
Mangoes, mangoes, come and get your mangoes. Juicy, fruity, oh, so delicious. Come and get your mangoes.
Ooh, mangoes! Are they ripe?
Are they ripe? Of course they're ripe.
Ripe like Israel is ripe for punishment, for robbing the poor and trampling the needy.
You can't wait for the Sabbath day to be over and the religious festivals to end so you can get back to cheating the helpless.
I just wanted to buy a mango. Hello, I'm Nahum, and welcome to my travel vlog. This week I've come to Nineveh to see if it lives up to the hype. I've heard of its beauty, the landscape gardens and parks. But since arriving here, I'm struggling to get over the heaps of bodies. It's not won me over on first impressions, but I've come to speak to local Sennacherib to see if he can convince me of its charm.
So what do you think? It's pretty great here in Nineveh, huh?
What, the city of murder and lies?
Well,
but it's beautiful and enchanting and crammed with wealth, but never without victims. You will hide for fear of the attacking enemy.
oh, we are very powerful.
Oh, not for long. The enemy will consume you like locusts. The Lord is your enemy. He will show the world how vile you really are. Your fortresses will fail. Get ready for the siege!
Oh.
The minor prophets use some pretty strong words, often making use of signs and poetic language to get across their messages. Malachi, for example, said to the people that God would punish their descendants and splatter their faces with manure. That's poo. All because they were giving him unacceptable gifts.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, it's great to see you, God. I've got you a quick gift.
What on earth is this?
Oh, well, it's a lovely badger.
But it's got rabies, and its eyes don't work. They're covered in flies.
But I thought you'd like it.
Well, don't you own like 100 badgers? You could have given me any one of them. You were one of the nice healthy ones. This one is diseased.
and dead.
Yes, I see. I suppose not the best offering. Well, what seems to be the problem, Jonah?
Well, I was swallowed by a big fish.
Look, I've told you 1,000,000,000 times, I'm not here for your personal life dilemmas. I'm purely here for health problems.
Well, yes, I am concerned about the health implications. I'm worried I've been digested.
Oh. How long were you in the fish for?
3 days.
And how many nights?
Well, 3.
Oh, dear.
What? Oh, am I gonna die?
Oh, no, you'll be fine. You just stink of fish guts. Jonah was a bit of a unique prophet. He was given a message by the Lord, but he didn't want to deliver it. After a bit of a debate involving a fish, he eventually went and told the people of Nineveh that God would destroy their city. They believed his message and put a stop to their evil ways, so God showed them mercy and didn't destroy the city. As the prophets gave their messages to the people, they often had little messages of hope or predictions about the future, like Micah. That's not the bit I meant. Try chapter 5.
But you, oh Bethlehem, Ephrathah, are only a small village among all the people of Judah. Yet, a ruler of Israel, whose origins are in the distant past, will come from you on my behalf. The people of Israel will be abandoned to their enemies until the woman in labor gives birth. Then, at last, his fellow countrymen will return from exile to their own land, and he will stand to lead his flock with the Lord's strength in the majesty of the name of the Lord his God. Then his people will live there undisturbed, for he will be highly honored around the world, and he will be the source of peace.
I wonder if you can think of any famous babies who were born in Bethlehem. I can think of a guy. You might just have heard of him. His name is Jesus. And even though Micah was writing this 700 or so years before Jesus was born, it matches up with what we know about Jesus. A ruler, sometimes we call him the King of Kings, coming to the people on behalf of God. He will lead his people with the Lord's strength and be highly honored around the world. And perhaps my favorite part, he will be the source of peace. Jesus changed the whole world. He brings peace in the midst of our chaos. No matter how far we turn away from God, Jesus is always there, ready for when we want to come back, with arms outstretched to give us a big hug. Jesus loves you. This was God's plan from the very beginning, from the creation of the world that we first talked about. Jesus was there, and he came as a baby at just the right time to save the whole world, including you.